Part 10, Soul's Purpose. As each individual awakens, a sense of needing to know your soul's purpose will come forward. For some, it will feel all-consuming. Here are a few categories of soul purposes on Earth at this time. Listen and see how your body and energy react to each purpose. You will know your purpose by the reaction you have, and know this may only be one part of your mission. If you're still not sure afterward, take the time to inwardly ask the questions. Bridges. Souls that are bridges bring in information from one realm to another. They are the connecting piece that is needed at this time of transition. Bridges can be channelers, psychics, healers, shamans, counselors, therapists, and energy intuitives. These bridges have a constant connection to the divine and the cosmos, and can have an overwhelming sense to serve others in this way as they relay information to help souls ascend. Transmuters. Beings that are transmuters are souls that physically take in the negative 3D energy and vibrations, transmuting this within oneself into the light. Some of these souls will go through physical pain. These souls need to seek the practitioners that will release the blockages from their energy fields regularly, as this is essential to their well-being. Being a transmuter is a huge job in the bigger picture. It is not an easy task to take on this role. It can be a lifelong journey dealing with the pain and sorrow of others until the light has increased to a level where the discomfort no longer affects them. Beacons and anchors. Beacons and anchors are souls that have volunteered to allow the light to pass through them. The light then anchors into the earth and stabilizes the light that radiates out from them. With these souls, their light will affect a room, calm people down, and make others feel relaxed just by being around them. They are positive souls that have a high frequency to allow large quantities of light to move through them. These souls can be extra sensitive to the higher frequencies and solar activity that moves through your planet. It is movement, rest, and self-care that is needed for these beacons and anchors to help them through. Igniters. Igniters are souls that ignite other people's purposes and gifts. These beings are clear channels that will release blockages for others and help to activate other souls' divine and innate gifts. Their evolution is very quick. There are not many igniters on Earth, so one of their purposes is to teach to groups and the mass collective. Earthers. Earthers are souls that have experienced many lifetimes on Earth and other planets tending to the animals, plants, soil, and the general care of the land. Earthers are essential for the well-being of Earth and, in turn, affect all that reside on the planet. Earthers love to garden, be outside in all seasons, and enjoy all natural facets of life. The purpose of Earthers is that through their light, they send a vibration to all living life and matter that grounds the energy around them into the planet they are living on. Templates. These special souls are the experimenters, the ones that take a risk into creating different solutions to see what will work for the highest good. Through technology, science, and creativity, they formulate an equation with divine light to serve humanity into a higher consciousness. These souls love science, books, and learning. They like facts and search for newer, better ways to help and advance their world. Minors. Minors are beings that do not originate from Earth's galaxy. These souls are selected from other solar systems. These beings are the ones that will go into the depths of the Earth when it is time to explore the crystal tunnels and caves deep within your planet. Miners are not like the ones you currently have on Earth. These beings are not here to mine crystals or destroy the Earth. They hold a higher frequency and a layer of special cells that allow their skin to glow deep within the Earth, which protects them from the elements of different gases and humidities. Beings of light to help assist humanity and Mother Earth. During humanity's ascension over the next decade, there will be beings that come to assist Earth and her inhabitants. This information is not to cause panic or fear to anyone, as these souls will only present themselves to those who are ready energetically. Waivers. Waivers are created from the light. These souls will come down into the Earth's atmosphere in the years to come. Waivers are light beings that use telepathy and hold a higher frequency to change the ionosphere of your planet and bring back what once was by repairing the damage. Waivers send out waves of light energy that increase the energy fields and transmute any stagnant energies of decay and rot. Elementers. Elementers are the woodland folk, the guardians of the elements, the keepers of the earth that will once again show themselves as they once did long ago. They will help to repair the planet and will provide education to humans. Elementers will teach the ways of the land, how to respect and honor the planet, and teach others how to communicate with the plants, animals, and trees. Starseeds. All humans are starseeds. We all come from Source, and each one of you has experienced another life in another star system in other forms. We speak of a particular group of starseeds who are among you now, and many of them are the way-showers and teachers that are helping assist humanity in this ascension. This group of starseeds are beings of light who help seed planets. All souls are created from the light. However, not all take on this mission of seeding other planets. There will also be other starseeds that come from afar to help humanity. They will show themselves in their crafts and communicate to others through channeling until the frequency reaches a vibration where they will be able to show themselves to all. Dragons. Dragons are of the higher realms that come with guidance and assistance to the elements. This next step for humanity is one where the dragons will assist at a much greater capacity than ever before. A dragon's frequency is of a very high vibration. Not only will the humans standing next to them feel this, but the entire vicinity that surrounds them. You will know when a dragon is in the area, for your acute awareness increases, and you will be on high alert. Not in the sense that you will be in danger, as this high alert is one of your acute senses. You will become aware of the bugs in the air, the dust in the room, the light. Everything slows down for you, but the energy is running at a much higher frequency. Each human has the ability to connect with dragons as they rise in ascension. Dragons have ancient knowledge and offer fierce protection from those that seek to harm others. Humanity must also realize dragons cannot be called upon whenever the human wants. Dragons help those with a pure heart and clear intentions. Unicorns. Unicorns are Source's divine creatures of the light. These special beings are one of pure light. They offer guidance to those in need and provide comfort and solitude for souls with troubled hearts. Unicorns prefer the quiet and to be in nature as they enjoy peaceful solitude away from others. You will find these serene, peaceful beings when you call out to them in nature, and they will come to you in your mind and heart. Be patient with these special beings, for they do not come at your beck and call. They will arrive on a wave of gentle, soft purity. Unicorns offer the purest of hearts and love in the soul. Transformers. Transformers are light beings that convey messages to the other realms and beings on how Earth and her inhabitants are doing with their transformation in dimensional shifts. These beings are dedicated to informing other races with the highest light and knowledge to improve others' experiences and life force. Transformers will go from planet to planet, universe to universe, observing and cheering behind the scenes on the progress and advancements of the planet they are on. In a way, you could think of them as a group of auditors on planet Earth. As they observe humanity's awakening, they share their information of the highest and purest quality with other light sources that are suffering or in need of this knowledge. Light contributors. Light contributors are light beings that will station themselves at certain points and places around your globe. With their contribution of light to the planet and the masses of other light beings, Earth will transform itself into health, beauty, and vigor, how it once was eons ago. Light contributors are specific to their role. They are here to solely focus on bringing their light in and allowing the light from the other light beings that surround your planet to move through them, thus anchoring more light into the planet. They are similar to the human anchors and beacons on your planet. Pacifiers. Pacifiers are light beings that subdue the energy around them from conflict to peace. Pacifiers do not work out the problems at hand, but aid in calming the energy of all parties. They do not take away what is to be solved or worked out at the moment. They aid groups and leaders of their communities with their energy for an outcome of peaceful resolution. When a pacifier enters a room, the energy shifts to one where the tension ceases and all parties can take a deep breath. Pacifiers will be needed to help humans resolve long conflicts of war and ancestral issues in the DNA of one's own memories. Star lights. Star lights come from light years away to help Mother Earth and humanity open up their light capacity within each of their souls. These beings will come to humans in their dreams and while they are daydreaming, providing information and questions on why you might be thinking a certain way. They provide a new way of thinking for expansion if one is feeling stuck. Star lights help assist Mother Earth by providing her light support in the Ascension. These beings will focus their intentions on sending light into Mother Earth's core, helping her move through this birthing process into the fifth dimension. Star brights. Star brights are smaller beings of light that move from realm to realm, assisting the elementals. These special lights are not fairies. Their primary purpose is one of service, pure light, and movement. Fairies also hold the light and can be full of fun, play, and mischievousness. Fairies prefer to stay in one area, assisting the fauna, plants, and living matter in their environment. 2020 and beyond. Before fully moving into the fifth dimension, there will be many channelers and healers that come forward. As there are over 8 billion people on your planet at this time, there will be masses of people looking for assistance and will need information to help ease and soothe their soul. Many humans will be sponges looking for information until they find their own way of knowing the answers themselves and move into the new way of being with all that is. The new way of being is a way of feeling through the heart, listening to yourself and what feels right to you. This will be automatic for all to feel this, to know what is right for you, and feeling the light that has been pouring down on all since the shakeup began in 2020. The transition from the year 2020 and onwards will be different for everyone. For the way showers that have been on the awakening path for a while, these souls will move further into their roles as teachers, paving the way for others to ascend into the light. For those that have just awakened, there will be a period of adjustment. This is the time to be kind to oneself and to have patience as your awareness unfolds. For those that are still sleeping, there will be light events that will happen in 2021 to 2025 that will awaken these souls if they have chosen to move into the fifth dimension. Fear not for your loved ones, family, and friends if they have not awoken yet. There will be no one left behind that does not want to be. Both dimensions have lessons and soul growth for each individual. We want to advise all to not get caught up and focus on whether your partner, family members, or friends will awaken. Each soul has chosen what they want to learn, and the majority will move into the fifth dimension. Respect and honor the decision of the soul that does not wake up, for they are not ready and may not want to experience the fifth dimension yet. Remember, the majority of the population will shift. The day the veil of the light lifted on the solstice, on December the 21st of 2020, was the day the light shifted the energy where every crevice, nook, and cranny of darkness that was hidden will be exposed to the light in the years to come. There is now an enlightening path opening for humanity. This event did not change everything overnight. However, it will be looked upon as a new beginning and an enlightened age of the light. After 2020, change will begin. More souls will awaken, and all will see the change coming to the earth. For those who are awakened, they will also bring their ideas to fruition. Just as December the 21st in 2012 was a cosmic event, with all 12 chakras being activated in humans on Earth, so too did December the 21st, 2020 draw the line in the sand for the new dawn of light to enlighten the majority of humanity. What we would like to clarify is that this new age will take time. This will not happen in a year or two. The key is to work on oneself, and as you do, each soul goes through its own awakening process. This process is not a single event. It is a series of steps that one must take, and each step will be completely designed for each person. Equality. There has been no equality within humanity for centuries. Women, children, people of color, and minorities have been sacrificed and used in horrific ways that have been hidden from the masses. Now, truths will be revealed, and it may take time for humanity to wrap their minds around such events, which will come to light. One of these concepts is the belief that there is one universe and one God. There are billions of other universes within all that is. A soul can be a universe. This can take a moment to absorb. Within this universe that we are all currently in, there is not only one God. There are two, a creator and a creatrix, a god and a goddess. There is the divine feminine and the divine masculine, which creates a union of love, which is the core of all that is within all universes. This is not to say that it can only be a human male and a human female in their partnership together to create this love. We are talking about the energy of the divine masculine and the divine feminine within each soul. You will notice if two males join together in partnership, one of the males may have more divine feminine in their soul than their partner, who has more of the divine masculine. This can be the same for two females in a partnership, as well as a female with a male. The human male is not all divine masculine, just as the human female is not all divine feminine. Each soul has both energies, the divine masculine and the divine feminine, inside of their being. It may not be of equal proportion. However, there will be both inside. Now, moving forward in the years to come, there will be a remembrance of the divine feminine in all essences of your soul, whether you associate with being female, male, or gender-free. The divine feminine is coming back to equality as it once was. There will be balance once the remembrance has come to fruition. Love is the core of all universes. This information of there being a god and a goddess within your universe has been covered and hidden from all for centuries. Why has this been done? The forces at hand took over the balance of the light and dark and burned, hid, killed, and tortured into submission the ways of truth. Many of you will know this in your being with your past lives, of being burned at the stake, being killed or tortured. You may feel an aversion to anything on your wrists or neck. You may not enjoy dark or confined spaces. You may not like being too close to a fire or have a fear of drowning. You may feel shame when having sex and not understanding why you do not like being in certain positions. These feelings and fears are related to what has happened in your past lives and also in your current life. In the years to come, as humanity moves into healing on many fronts, you may remember a memory, a feeling, an experience of your past lives and previous deaths to heal the soul. This is not to be feared, as you will be ready energetically when you do experience this, and will have the tools at hand to help you navigate. Our channeler Sarah experienced one of her previous deaths in Atlantis while on a canoe trip. She was camping in the wilderness as a storm came in with high winds, torrential rain, and lightning. This created the remembrance of Sarah's life as a healer and her final moments in Atlantis. Waking up for Sarah in the tent on that howling night brought in the memory of her being swept away by a landslide from a massive wave and hanging on for dear life to a tree as her world crumbled around her. This memory of trauma that Sarah had been holding on to unknowingly brought in the awakening and healing of her soul's energy from that specific lifetime, propelling her forward in her life's work in this lifetime. This remembrance was very traumatic to Sarah, but needed to happen to release the energetic block. Not all souls will have to relive each lifetime of trauma. However, there will be many that will experience some of their past lifetimes to help their soul, energy, and their life purpose. There will be light healers and light coaches that will be able to help you through these experiences if needed. Remember, you will only experience this when your soul is ready. Remission. Remission will be a period for all souls that will happen after the truths are exposed and the planet's and humanity's energy goes through healing. After this takes place, there will be time for all to be in a state of remission. In this state, there is an alignment for each soul to partake in Gaia's healing within her being. It is time to restore faith in humanity and all souls. This is where love expands and grows. This state of remission will happen for many in the mid to late years in the decade of 2020. The turning of the tides. As each soul moves through its transition and communities band together, the golden era will begin. Being in this transition can be overwhelming for some, and others a time of anticipation. As each soul turns inward and works on itself, the information will come forward that your inner knowing will never steer you wrong. This critical piece of knowledge will serve you in the years to come. Your energy will let you know when it is time to see a friend or let them go from your life. When you feel drawn to be in a certain place, location, or store, you will feel the pull, the need to be there. This is the turning of the tides that we speak of, going within and listening to your inner guidance. It will not be loud and abrasive. It will be subtle, gentle, and ever so loving. You will feel excited when you are lit up with an idea and feel an ever need to move forward. Possibilities will be endless in opportunity. Abundance will be ever flowing to all. Society will break the chains that have been wrapped around them for centuries. So, dear ones, we say to each one of you who is listening to this, be patient with the outcome at hand. Your new world will not happen overnight, as this new era will be unfolding for centuries, and you have only just begun. Know in your heart that each one of you has an important role to play. This role is either to help awaken those around you, bring in new technology with your ideas and innovations, or to hold the light which is moving into the frequency of the fifth dimension. Outcomes. This next part of the book is about outcomes in the years to come. These outcomes will pertain to the breaking down of current institutions, such as religion, churches, corporations, CEOs, banks, governments, schools, healthcare, and pharmacare. These institutions have been strategically built upon lies and deceit to the public under the veil of illusion. As truths come out, that is when the deeper healing for humans will begin. Church and religion. The falling of the church and religion will be the first and the utmost biggest change in your society. It is the corrupt way in how it all began centuries ago. You see, the seed was planted that with faith and a belief in a God, a religion, you will go to heaven if you are good and well-behaved, or to hell if you are sinful or bad. These rules have been implied with most religions on earth. The stage was set to control all who believe in this institution. Corrupt ones covered up the truth. When you believe in yourself, this allows your light to shine for you to explore, grow, and love. A God, religion, or place will not do this for you. You are an eternal soul. You are here to experience joy and love. There is no good or bad, simply experiences that lead you down one road or another. A Bible was written long ago, communicating ways of being with love and compassion. Many of these writings were either destroyed, manipulated, or changed into deceiving the masses. The manipulated versions that have been put forward states there is but one God to look up to and place this belief in a constitution called the Church. There is not simply one God, a male God, or one of a particular gender. We know with these words and knowledge there will be a rising. We say to those who are deeply ingrained in the Church to go within. Does this resonate with your heart that there would only be one God, and that this God is a man? It is equal between a man and a woman, the divine feminine and the divine masculine. There is Source, a supreme consciousness that is for all universes. Source is love, pure consciousness, and connected to all matter and life. When one takes a look at the Vatican and goes to this illusion of worship, which we call a place of horror and deceit, ask yourself the question of why there is gold in this institution when people are starving and there is poverty in the streets. Why is there an imbalance and the churches continue to ask for money when people are struggling to get by? Yes, some churches will take care of others and feed the poor and shelter the homeless. However, it is with the intent that those they help will be saved. And at what cost? There is no saving to be done. Each soul is pure love at its core. Yeshua and Mary Magdalene both said this through their teachings. It is the deceit that manipulated the information that Mary Magdalene was a prostitute and Yeshua was the Almighty One. It was together, the support of each other, and the love of one another that they created the purest, heartfelt teachings to all. Once their voices were heard and people began to feel this in their hearts, there was a plan to take out Yeshua himself in the most harmful and crucifying way. This way was to teach others that yes, if you follow this path, look at what awaits you. With Mary Magdalene, it was easy to put a reward out for her death and begin to place rumors around her so-called infidelities. Mary Magdalene was able to escape and find a way to continue with her teachings of love and compassion. With whatever humans believe in, we say that it is wonderful to believe in something and to have faith in something. Know that something is you. You are the answer that you've been waiting for, not a church, religion, or priest saying you will be condemned or looked down upon if you do not believe in Christ or have not been baptized. This will be the greatest undoing and the greatest cover-up that will ever be revealed. For centuries, churches have been a cover-up for the horrors of sexual abuse to children and adults. Healing will take place for many once this institution is dismantled. Finances. The next outcome that will come forward on earth is the dismantling of the financial institutions. Take a deeper look at how this was originally built, as this is within a pyramid scheme and structure. Humanity places their hard-earned money into accounts, making little interest, and then pays high rates to borrow when needed. This may look like this is set up to protect the economy and laws at hand, but it is to control the individuals and masses into thinking this is the only way. Throughout the universes, banks and money are a 3D version of control. There is no need for money in other dimensions. For land, places, and planets belong to all in the higher realms. Exchanges are done with services for one another, and within many planets, there is no give and take. The ultimate goal is to be of service to all. There will be a process of eliminating illusions within the banking systems on Earth. This will begin in the years to come. A lifting of the veil will show what was put in place to control humanity. With the lifting of the veil, new ways will come to support no longer needing money and banks as they once were. The banking industry will go through a complete overhaul, no longer serving the purpose to benefit the greed and monopoly of the banking corporations, and thus the elite. CEOs. CEOs around the world will no longer exist in their roles. It will come to humanity's realization of the unbalanced ways of pay for these individuals. There will come a rise from humanity to no longer allow money to be distributed in this way. No longer will the rich be getting richer. Around the globe, people will see the distribution of their wealth in the coming years. For many that hold this wealth, they will be awakened to the imbalance that is plaguing Earth and work hard at distributing their funds where it is needed the most. As many awaken to the imbalances around the planet, there will be peace among those that give away their wealth, and freedom will come into their souls. For those that do not awaken and hold on to their wealth with greed and contempt, they will remain in the third dimension, along with the ongoing experiences for that individual. Schools and education. Throughout time on planets and universes, coming together to learn and grow have been about truth, wisdom, and expansion. In the past few centuries, schooling on Earth has taken on a controlled environment, where the student must follow the rules and regulations of the school and his teacher. The teacher is also given a curriculum to follow and teach to its students. This way, which has been taught over the centuries, is another way to control society and bring trauma and pain into each soul if they do not meet and follow the criteria at hand. Each soul is different, unique, and special. There are many ways for a soul to learn and understand their differences, and talents are one and the same. In the years to come, learning and education will see an overhaul in the entire system. There will no longer be prestigious schools to get into with high tuition and fees. The hierarchy of schools will end. With the energies coming in very strongly, new enlightened ways of teaching will present themselves. Meditation will begin every day at the beginning of younger school grade classes, along with mindfulness and movement throughout the day to release pent-up energies, which allow learning to be kept fresh and new. Schools will teach about energy, life, relationships, emotions, food, animals, and much more that is attained to how each child will move forward in their life. There will be tests that examine what the child's unique gifts are. Later on, when they are an adolescent, they will decide where and how they would like to serve their community and planet. These tests are not to be feared or prepared for. They are done with insight and universal love that will enhance the soul's path on their journey of light. This will not be set in stone either, as the child has the right to move into any field of their choice down the road. There will be schools that will pertain to the child's field of choice, and their education will be one of acceleration and excitement. There will no longer be anxiety with tests, learning, and being in a school. Meditation will be taught at a young age and continue to be maintained throughout the school years and into one's daily routine as an adult. Meditation teaches self-regulation of the mind and breath. In turn, anxiety, depression, and the dread that is associated with schools, tests, and fitting into certain crowds will be eliminated. With all students meditating, there will be a greater expansion of love and compassion. There will also be options after adolescent learning, which allows access for anyone around the world to learn at any school they desire from their own home. Online learning will look quite different than what it is today, as there will be technology that will be used where you feel like you're right there in the classroom. This technology will be used for children in their later years. This option will be available for all souls to access the learning they desire no matter where they reside. Teachers will be accountable for the way they teach, as there will be a universal system set in place for the awakened ones to be in teaching roles. The way teachers educate their students currently will not exist. There will no longer be teachers that do the bare minimum and do not have the students' best interests at heart. It is through experience and providing space to express one's own thoughts and gifts, that learning on all levels of the soul will take place. Food industry. There is currently a food monopoly on your planet. Ads, exchanges, and belief systems are set in place with human programming to convince humanity that you need meat, dairy, sugar, alcohol, and caffeine to enjoy life, stay awake, or be healthy and strong. As we mentioned before, there was a time on this planet when humans, animals, and all life coexisted in harmony, respect, and honor. Currently, the mainstream meat industry has no respect for living animals and the environment they are kept in. No human needs dairy or meat to survive and thrive. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, water, and sunlight help to keep your body thriving along with sleep, meditation, and movement. Once humanity moves into releasing its current belief systems on food, there will be a change in the health of the planet. This will also occur as the density on the planet lifts as more humans awaken. Accelerated light is being moved into the planet, and with that comes the change in each one of your bodies. There will be less need for meat, and for some, there will be repulsion when even thinking of eating meat ever again. The norm will be reversed in the coming years, with less meat in society, and a much lighter way of eating will be the way. When people do eat animals, there will be respect for its life and death. Processed foods will be eliminated, as well as alcohol and drugs. Any soul wanting to continue to experience these illusions will have the choice to stay in the third dimension. Animal delicacies, parts of animals, fur, and skin for sale will no longer be permitted. Countries where animals are kept in cages for entertainment with cruel and unsanitary conditions will be condemned and no longer tolerated. This shift will happen very quickly, along with no more breeding for the perfect animal, pets for profit, or a certain status in society. Governments. Within the governed laws of society where you live, it was made to believe that the ones you vote in would be for the people and with the people. Behind the scenes, many of the ones you have voted in to govern your laws have been manipulated and coerced into playing the game. Sometimes these elected individuals are caught. However, most of the time, the public is not made aware of what is truly happening. The people who currently make the laws and decisions spend the taxpayers' money to their advantage and to the 3D way of life. They have not consulted the public on major decisions that would affect all in the planet. What will now come into play is the breakdown of the ones that govern your laws. There will no longer be politics, candidates, and the astronomical amount of money that is spent in these endeavors. There will be councils that are different from the ones that currently exist. These councils will be for the entire planet, and smaller ones will coexist for the areas you live in. With the light energy that is coming in, there will no longer be payments, bribes, cheating, bullying, and lying in these groups and to humanity as a whole. The councils that will be formed are governed by peace, goodwill, and service to all. Many are wondering, how is this possible? For decades, humanity has gone along with voting for a party or an individual. This will no longer be necessary, for what we want all to know is the energy will be different. It will be of a higher dimension. The ways and laws of governing previously will not work in the coming years. The dismantling of the government will be a natural process. Yes, this will take time and will not happen overnight. This will not take decades to be implemented. This is happening within this decade that you are currently in. Healthcare. The healthcare system on your planet is an outdated, systematic way. There will be technologies that will come forward with vibration and sound tools to help heal the body. There will be technology pods that can heal bones and perform surgery for each person without opening the body. Pharmacare will no longer exist. The medicines and drugs that are prescribed to humans now are ones to make you sick and implement harm to the body. Yes, some of these drugs will prolong your life a bit longer, but at what cost? Many people are set in their ways in this belief system that the doctor knows best. They must take the prescriptions they have been given. To this we say, look at the situation with opioids. Pharmacare and the people behind the scenes knew exactly what this would do to society and the afflicting harm of addiction on souls and their loved ones. Do your own research and see what is happening at hand. Sarah, our channeler, discovered through her body's signs that her iron was low. She went to see her doctor and was prescribed iron pills with a list of ones to take. With Sarah's research, each one of the iron pills that were prescribed had cancer-causing ingredients in each brand. There were over 4 different brands that were recommended. Sarah's intuition led her to a vegan blood booster to help her. When the doctor called back a few weeks later to see how she was doing, she let the doctor know she did not take any of the recommended pills, for the ingredients would cause harm to her body. Sarah mentioned what she was taking instead, and the doctor asked for the name so they could then prescribe that brand to their patients that had the same issue. The health technologies that will be used on Earth for its inhabitants are technologies that will be downloaded into souls that have awakened and channeled light technology information from other realms. This light technology has been used for millions of years throughout the galaxies. There will also be simpler, more holistic ways to healthcare. Energy healers, sound therapists, and specialized souls will have the ability to scan the body and see what ails you. This will be the new norm. Hospitals will no longer be needed, as these pods will be sufficient for all diagnoses. There will be farmers that will grow herbs and plants to holistically and naturally keep the body well. There will be healers in food and medicine that will be able to prescribe different tonics, teas, plants, and roots to help those in need. The way forward is in harmony with the planet, and in turn, in harmony with your mind, body, and soul. This is what creates optimal health, well-being, and community. Natural resources. Currently, Mother Earth's natural resources are being taken from her at such a velocity that leaves one head spinning. Over the next 10 years, all mining, drilling, and seeking oil, metals, and other resources from the depths of this planet will cease. This will include the destruction of forests and taking away the natural habitat of the animals. Once humans come to terms with the destruction that has taken place on Earth, there will be a collective decision on how to move forward, reversing the irreparable damage that has been done. There will be no use for products such as plastic and other harmful packaging that are currently being used. Holidays and gift giving will also change. There will no longer be the material overwhelm that it is now. It is about the time and experience with one another that is to be loved and cherished. For as life continues, Each soul will awaken to what makes one feel better, is with fewer material items. All will awaken to see how harmful it is to produce plastics and other materials that do not biologically break down and pollute the earth. Yes, humanity and Mother Earth are now at the tipping point. It will take every human to do their part for change and become aware of one's habits. The light will continue to enter each human and will help to increase your awareness in every crevice of your being. Memories. As each human awakens to their divine essence, memories will be remembered from long ago. This is important to know, as your memories hold pieces of information to help you in this current lifetime. These memories will naturally begin to reveal themselves over the coming years. They have always been with you. However, when incarnating on this planet, they were kept hidden. Each soul knows this is what happens before you enter the earth plane. Within each of your memories is the key to advancement and to know every aspect of yourself, which in turn is the understanding of the collective as a whole. This concept may be hard to grasp. Please know that overall, we are all connected and one. Previously, this was touched upon as we all come from Source, light consciousness. There are multiple lives which are aspects of yourself that are happening simultaneously. In dream time, you can tap into one of your existing lives and bring that memory forth. As each soul's memories come forward, there is an integration in the body and mind, which needs to take place. You may become very tired and feel the need to rest. Trust this process of memory allocation and the divine timing when this happens for you. Each soul listening to this will have this experience, and we advise you to write down the dreams that come through and the memories that come forth. Ask your highest self and your team for the messages in dreams. Each dream will have an underlying message that may not be able to be determined in the actual dream itself. Transitions. There will be many transitions that take place over the coming years. This is on an individual, society, and planetary level. Through the layers of transition comes awareness, awakening, and expansion. Honor each transition that you go through on a soul level, as a society and planetary level, for it is important to know how far you have come and how much you have accomplished in a very short amount of time. Individual. Each individual will go through a process of growth in their emotional, mental, and spiritual bodies as each soul awakens. As the light energy begins to move at an accelerated rate through your planet, this will shift as each one of you goes through leaps and bounds in soul growth. Each individual will go through many experiences at a rapid pace to achieve moving into the fifth dimension. This will only happen to the souls that want to be part of the fifth and higher dimensions. As we mentioned before, each soul has a choice. The souls that are choosing to depart now, honor them for the choices they have made and the light they were able to share with each one of you. Society. As a society, there will be balance and moderation. The awakening has already begun, shifting the awareness between the poor and rich. As each soul undergoes its own awakening, so too will the privileged give away their funds to create an equal playing field for all. All souls will be treated equally, and there will be no hierarchy in society any longer. Monarchies and the wealthy will cease and be dissolved into an awakening of their own. They will come out of their bubble and see their illusion for what it truly was. Planetary. The planetary transition will be a large one. There will no longer be a division between countries. There will no longer be borders that separate one country from one another. These borders will be eliminated in the years to come among states, provinces, and nations. Your planet will be guided as a whole among all that live there. How is this possible? How will it work? As the awakening occurs, there is a shift in all energies. There is no support to hold the old ways with the 3D density. Going forward, there is lightness, love, and community. The majority that reside here on Earth are here for the larger purpose to awaken and help each other ascend. As we have mentioned before, there will be communities all around the world. Within these communities is a council, which is not like the councils that are currently set up in your societies. These councils are for the greater good, with the utmost, highest intentions for the highest good of all. These councils will then interact with a planetary council, helping not only the planet as a living being, but all that live here. The border walls will come down, maps will be drawn anew, and there will be new names for the lands on your planet as the energy continues to shift. Within each community, there will be temples that rise again. These temples are for healing, soul growth, teaching, and ascension. Schools of trade will be within each community, and there will be other schools for specific training that will exist all around the globe. Each soul will no longer need planes to get them to these schools. The technology will be advanced enough for humans to learn from home if the soul desires to learn from that school. As we have said before, travel will not be necessary, for one will appreciate where they live and will be able to communicate with anyone they would like to, no matter the distance. Energetic timelines. Each soul has timelines in their current life to accomplish and experience certain goals that were originally in their soul contract. Due to the density of the light coming in, starting from the December solstice in 2020, many timelines are shifting and are no longer set in stone. Each soul will achieve their goals within their contracts at a much quicker pace. There was a time on this planet that many of us light beings were waiting in anticipation to see if the scales would tip in the light's favor once again. Many timelines could have occurred if the mass of the light workers had not maintained their light and frequency. This was accomplished, and now there is a quickening, a righting of the ways. Within each of your timelines, there will be freedom in the soul and peace in your being, for no ill harm will come to you in this now timeline. For many of you in your past lifetimes, trauma was experienced in your death when you left your physical body. When speaking your truth, helping others, and walking your path, some sought to silence you. Many were burned at the stake, killed, and tortured. Once again, we want to make this clear to you. You are now safe to walk your path, speak your truth, and raise your voices for others when there is wrongdoing. There is no longer the threat of physical harm as there once was in your past lives.